the reason I won't give up is because how can me, who is in the position of Christ, give up when Bartimaeus didn't give up? That's how you reason. You are drawing lessons from their lives, but you need to understand where you are. He that is joined to the Lord is one spirit. As he is, so are you. Not in heaven, not when rapture happens. As he is, so are you in this world. The Bible said whoever is crucified with Christ has put on, Galatians 4:24, he has put on the Lord Jesus. I'm clothed with Jesus Christ. Praise God. Are you gaining this already? We are already shifting. Because if you are like him, it means if cancer didn't survive in him, it has no basis of surviving in you. If he never failed, it means failure is no longer a prayer point. I live above that realm. Somebody was teaching and said, do men pray not to be pregnant? Or do they pray to be pregnant? He said pregnancy does not exist in the syllabus of men. When you were made a new creature, you were brought into the class of God. See, some of your prayer points are revelations of ignorance. Because Jesus never knelt down and said, Father, heal me. No, they don't pray like that in that realm. That order don't have that prayer point. That prayer point does not exist there. You have to edit it out. Jesus never sat down and said, Father, let no demon possess me. No, in that class, demons can't come. In that class, sickness does not survive. The same way a man won't go and say, Lord, please open my womb. There's no womb to open. That prayer is not in that order. Now that you are in the order of the Christ, heal me is not in that order. Deliver me is not in that order. Prosper me is not in that order. All things are yours. You are not asking for it. Health is yours. Favor is yours. Blessings are yours. Prosperity is yours. Lifting is yours. All things are yours. Hey! So when I enter a city, I'm not praying, Lord, please bless me in this land. No. The blessing of the Lord has entered the territory. All things are mine. See, the forces in the land will recognize that a prince has come. Everything will meet me there. Do you get what I'm saying? But you see, I need to show you a few lessons. It will help you graduate into where you are. You know, when you give birth to a child, he doesn't start with running. Although he was not built to crawl, but he will crawl for a while. He will walk on his knee for a while. A child is not a dog. He's not supposed to walk on 4 legs. But there's a phase where the child may be walking on 4 legs. That does not mean that is the child's reality, but that is the protocol of metamorphosis. A day will come, the child will stand, stagger and fall. Then another time, the child will start limping and jumping and running. A point will come, the child will run faster than you, because he has entered his reality. Somebody is entering his reality tonight. I know some of you, with all I've said, even in this service, you'll be saying, Father, please remove this pain. No problem. He will remove it. There's no wrong way to walk in health. Any way that is righteous is a way. But a day will come when, if pain show up, you will say, how come? Imagine a man goes to the hospital and they say, congratulations, you are 6 weeks pregnant. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for question. It can't happen. We don't get pregnant. I'm not going to say no, I will do 3 more tests. No, there's no need. That you even did that test is an error. I didn't come for pregnancy test. How did you do that test? It's a waste of time. It can't happen. So a day will come when you sense pain, you say, hey, what's going on here? Hey, 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 hey. The pain will say, sorry. You enter a place, they say you are rejected. You say, for what? How? They don't reject us. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. Come on, you don't reject us. The heavens belong to God. The earth he has given to the sons of men. Wherever the soles of my feet shall tread upon, it is mine. Reject who? I own the land. They said they shot an arrow from the village. From where to where? Don't you know that I'm an arrow? I'm a battle axe. I'm a weapon of war. You don't shoot an arrow at an arrow. I'm a bigger arrow. I'm a child of God. And what? As arrows are in the quiver of a mighty warrior, I'm an arrow in the quiver of God. I'm his weapon of war. How do you shoot an arrow at me? I'm an arrow, a bigger one. And on to you we lift our voice. You're the Lamb upon the throne.
For you are glorious.
For you are glorious
And worthy.
and worthy to be praised. You're the Lamb upon the throne. And all to you lift our voice. You're the Lamb upon the throne. Pray in tongues for 1 minute. Some of you, something is already happening to you. Something is leaving your body already. A pain is going, a tumor is disappearing already. For you are glorious
And worthy to be praised. You are
You're the Lamb upon the throne.
And unto you I lift my
Lift our voice in praise. You're the Lamb upon the throne. You are the Lamb. You are the Lamb upon the throne. Sit down. You will just stand up and discover you are light. Something has left you already. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You see, I'm now in the valley of decision. Because this message has one for church people and another one for ministers. I'm wondering which one I should teach you now. You see, there is one for church goers. There's another one for carriers, ministers. I'm contemplating whether I should teach you the one for ministers. You know what I will do? I will list the protocol for carriers, those who receive. Then I will list the one for those who give. Because when we sit down in the supernatural, there are those who receive the supernatural, and there are those who give the supernatural. I think you have shifted to the realm of giving, not receiving. I discover you have just moved. You have moved. You have gone higher than the message I came with for you. Hey! You went higher than the message. So I will just list it so that you will now teach somebody else that before you minister to them. But I will bring you to where carriers operate. So let's look at the first aspect of the protocol for receiving the supernatural. Number one is to discern the crisis. When you are walking in the supernatural, you don't deny the facts. You only refuse the fact from dominating you. Denying the fact is not deliverance. It rather protracts your suffering. But when you recognize the fact, then you position yourself to deal with it. So in Matthew 14, if you read from verse 24, the Bible said, after Jesus left them to pray, it said the ship was in the midst of the sea, and it was tossed with the wave. It said, for the wind was contrary to it. Verse 25. The wind was contrary to it. So the first thing you see is that the problem was clearly discerned. You can't receive the supernatural if you keep denying the facts. If you keep denying the crisis. Faith is not denial of fact. It's refusal of fact from dominating you. There are many people who are in the midst of crisis. They act as if it does not exist. And so the devil takes advantage of that to plunder them. Look at God. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 and 2. Even God, he didn't deny the challenge, but he never allowed the challenge to dominate him. He said in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And he said, verse 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. God didn't deny the fact that there was darkness. Of course, he didn't talk about it. Moses was the one telling us, because his focus was on the solution, not the problem. Nonetheless, God didn't deny the fact that there was crisis. Some people deny up to the point that even the activity of Satan, they deny it. And that's why they never seem to come into the realm of dominion. In 2 Corinthians 2:11, see what Paul said. It said, lest Satan should get an advantage over us, we are not ignorant of his devices. Because in 1 Peter 5:8, it said the devil, as a roaring lion, is walking about looking for whom he will devour. Because of that, he said, be sober and be vigilant. So the first requirement to walk in the supernatural is to discern your present state. Discern the environment. Discern your state. Discern the crisis. Never ignore the facts. If you don't have an accurate understanding of the state where you are, you can't even know where to ascend to. So in the supernatural protocol, discerning the facts, the crisis, the current state of things is very critical. The apostles, the disciples knew that number one, they were in the middle of the sea. So swimming is not a possible thought in this situation. They saw that the waves and the wind was contrary. So the issue of struggle did not exist. It was their accurate discerning of the fact that made them realize the help and the need for God. Look at what Paul said in 2 Corinthians 1 verse 8 and 9. You know, most of you, the reason you've not really depended on God is because you've not had an accurate understanding of the current state where you are. Paul said, for we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble which came to us in Asia. It said that we were pressed out of measure, above strength, in so much that we despaired even of life. They got tired of living. Verse 9, it said, but we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God, which raises the dead. When you discern the fact, you will see your need for God. You know, some people don't know where they are. They've not had a critical understanding of the challenge. That's why they are still thinking their intelligence will suffice. That's why they are still thinking their connections will help them. That's why they are still thinking their masculinity will help them. When you discern the fact correctly, one thing the fact will reveal to you is the urgent need for God. When you still find people trust themselves, they don't know where they are. When Paul came out of this challenge, in Philippians 3 verse 3, he said, we are the circumcision that worship God in the spirit, rejoicing in Christ Jesus, having no confidence in the flesh. Hope you know that the disciples in Matthew 14:23, if they didn't know they were in the middle of the sea because they were fishermen, some would have attempted to swim. But they knew where they were. At this point, if nothing supernatural happens, we are finished. If you come to that point where you have an accurate understanding of your state, then you will become open for the supernatural. And so the first protocol of receiving and walking in the supernatural is to discern the state of affairs. Number 2 is to discern the presence and the help of God. When you have discerned the state of affairs, don't give up. That should spur you to seeking God. And when God shows up, discern his presence and discern his help. There are many people that God has come, but they've not discerned him. So they are still struggling in themselves, and they see that their whole effort is in futility. When these guys discerned the situation, the next thing they started looking for the possibility of receiving divine intervention. And verse 25, hear what the Bible said. In the 4th watch of the night, that's at about 3 a.m. in the morning, it said Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. Immediately that movement took place. They had not even known he was the one. But to show you that they were seeking help, they were trusting for help, the moment he moved, they discerned him. Somebody is passing, and they probed deeper. It said when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. Verse 27, but straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. When you discern the problem, don't give up. The problem should push you to seek God. In fact, the proof that you have discerned the problem correctly is revealed in the vigor with which you seek God. A man who has not really discerned where his crisis or the extent of his crisis will still trust in himself. But when you see people rely, press onto, desire, seek for God, they've seen that where they are, only the finger of God can make a difference. And when you get to that point, you will surely find him, because he said, if you seek me, you will find me when you seek me with the whole of your heart. The problem with us is that we are still in between many opinions. We are trying this, trying that, trying that. When you get to that point where you know that God and only God is what you need, your whole heart will gravitate towards him. And when that happens, there's no way God will be able to hide himself from you. Look at Abraham. After trying everything, he knew that this thing won't work unless God shows up. Every day Abraham sat down in the heat of the day alone. He was waiting for his helper. And in Genesis 18 verse 1 to 2, the Bible said, on a certain day, it said the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. He sat there. That's the posture of meditation. And the Bible said he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men. God disguised himself. But the level to which this guy was seeking God, the press was so intense that it was impossible for God to hide from him. When you seek him with your heart, your discernment will be activated. The Bible said God came in the likeness of a man. He said, but when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door. He bowed his head to the ground. Verse 3, and said, my Lord. A man of this capacity will see a stranger and go and bow down and say, my Lord? Never. He had discerned that these are not ordinary people. My help has come. My Redeemer has shown up. See, some of us, we are so undiscerning that even in the midst of our crisis, when God comes, we are in the state of slumber. Did you read about Jacob in Genesis 28 verse 16? The guy was stranded, but he was sleeping. How are you sleeping in that case, that kind of situation? A situation where you should be calling on the name of the Lord. Some people sleep to death. He's dying, but he's comfortable in it. No wonder. Isaac told Esau in Genesis 27 verse 40, he said, when you become restless, he said, you will break his yoke off your shoulders. See, the reason some of you have not seen the supernatural, you have not desired it. You are still comfortable in the natural. You are still strolling with cancer. You are still managing bad luck. You are still coping with reproach. The day you become restless, you will see the hand of God. He said, when you become restless, the Bible said in Proverbs 18 verse 1, he said, through desire, a man having separated himself, intermeddled with all wisdom. The supernatural is available to and for all of us, but it's only those who are restless that will press for it. One of the biggest blessings you will experience in your life is to find agitation, not to remain comfortable in your problem. The Bible said there are women who can't give birth because in that hour they don't find strength. The hour of your destiny, you are sleeping. The hour of your life, you are sleeping. May you never be found there. Look at Jesus in Matthew 26. At the moment of decision, where he was about to enter his travail, all his disciples were sleeping. That was the moment of destiny. That was the moment where the reason why he came into the world was to be actualized. And those who said they were disciples, that was the best time they wanted to sleep. Jesus came to them 3 times. How are you sleeping now? This is not the time to sleep. This is not the time to slumber. This is the time to build strength. Something is coming. When he left, they slumbered again. He came back the second time. The Bible said when he showed up the third time, he didn't bother them. May you not get to that point where God won't bother you. Praise for the supernatural. The doctor looked at you, nodded his head, and you went home. The first thing you want to do is take tea. One person died, another one died, the third one is hospitalized. You are still sleeping. The person will still die. The supernatural is just a moment away, but nobody can say restore. And when we are all in the state of slumber, then the devil takes charge. In Isaiah 56 verse 9, he said, come, all ye beasts of the field. He said, come and devour. He said, their watchmen are asleep. They are as dumb dogs. They are in the state of slumber. They love to sleep. Come and devour. And that's the state of many families. There's a herald in the demonic. Come and devour. There's nobody at the gate. Nobody is saying restore. As you leave this meeting tonight, the energy to press until you see something beyond the natural, it will come upon you. Don't be comfortable in crisis. Don't relax in warfare. Don't slumber in the season of war. Your guard must be up. Most of the people you see messed up by Satan, messed up by circumstances, all they need is just 3 days of crying. If they would be able to shut the door and for 3 days say enough is enough, a whole lineage will be delivered. But you know what? They can't stand for 30 minutes. They can't stand for 3 hours. And the supernatural is hovering, but they can't connect to it. Press until you discern the presence. Press until you discern the help of God. Is the second protocol for the supernatural. It is critical. Somebody is telling a prophet, pray for me, and is sleeping. Even when you call the person at night, she won't pick. She's asleep. You who have the challenge, If you can sleep, why should I be awake? But this is the undoing of many. You will see them crying when they meet a man of God. You think they are serious about their problem. They are not. The moment they finish crying, 5 minutes later, see them gisting with people going home. They may even be talking about the movies they want to watch that week. And you are wondering, how are you able to sit down to watch movies?